Good morning, Wonder Women of the world. This is Ilona Budapesti, Chief Storyteller of 1 Million Women to Tech. Today is the community update for week 6 of the Summer of Code, the first ever Summer of Code. For those of you who are new, I am a Harvard, Stanford, and Oxford educated software engineer, serial entrepreneur, and investor. And originally, we were planning just to do this for 300 women in and around Oxford. And we thought, let's put it online. And that's when things happened. And 19,950 women from 145 countries pre-registered. So please forgive us. We had to make a decision whether to go ahead and open the DIY track to everybody or not, and we're doing our best. It seems there's huge demand, so a group of volunteers and myself are all doing our best to turn this little idea of a women's movement about technology into reality. And so you are the founding members, and please give yourself a huge round of applause for being here every day, every week, and doing this for yourselves and for all the other women. Let's get started. The community update. And does that work? It does. Look at that. August 24th. I would like to thank one of our amazing volunteers, Christine Reffo, for making this fantastic template. And you will see more of the leadership committee made up of the core volunteers in the coming weeks. This week, we had advanced JavaScript. This was quite aimed at the advanced student. So in the Summer of Code, we are trying to give you a menu of short one-week courses so that beginners can enjoy the beginner courses, intermediates, the intermediates, and also we can attract those who are in STEM or already computer science so that we can have the whole community helping each other. This week we went through higher order functions, anonymous functions, and closures, so the functional aspect of JavaScript. Then we looked at prototypal inheritance. Then we spoke about the event loop and the runtime model. And on day 4, we experienced we made and kept promises, resolved promises, which is in ES6, so ECMAScript 2015. API that is new and that helps with asynchronous processing. Okay. So if you are new and you're a do-it-yourselfer, this is the link that is in every Facebook post, everywhere we post is please watch the onboarding webinar and fill out the form at the memberportal.1millionwomentotech.com/DIY. This is sort of the landing page. And yes, women are very welcome to join anytime. You can sample from the beginning or you can join us live, depending on whether our 9 a.m., 10 a.m., and 11 a.m. British Standard Time classes work for you. I personally think if you are here watching live, can you put in some comments? Do you enjoy more coming live or the replays? I have the feeling probably the live classes, because then you can interact and actually shape the course of the lecture. We have a Discord channel. This is very much like Facebook Messenger or Slack, but it allows you to do free video, audio, and screen sharing. So it's very good for coding. And this is the invite for our Discord channel. And I think now you can go into the week 6 there's many channels. Pick the one that you like, but this will land you in our main Discord server, the 1 Million Women to Tech Facebook server. There is one official Facebook group if you're using Facebook, and it's the only one that is attached to the 1millionwomentotech.com website. So that's how you know it's official. If you are a student, as in you are in full-time education, you can also get a education.github.com/pack with some goodies and freebies. Announcement for next week. Week 7, we will introduce Self-Care Week. Please note there are no classes next week. Discord will continue, and of course in the background we're continuing to work. But discussing this with the leadership team and the Gold and VIP members. And to be honest, I've been pulling 16-hour days, so 110-hour weeks for the last, well, since March, so the last 6 months. We decided to have a self-care week. So week 7 will be self-care week, and we'll move the mobile prototyping app into week 8, and we'll move React.js to the end. There, we had already some overflow space there within the summer of code. It's just that the origin there were no classes. Now the React.js building your mobile app with JavaScript will happen there. There is an announcement about this on our brand new shiny WordPress site, which we'll hope to build to 1 million women unique users by 2020. It's very, very complicated to remember the URL, by the way, really, really hard. The URL is 1millionwomentotech.com. We're using HTTPS. So I hope everybody gets the secure sign. If not, can you please let us know on the Discord generals section? It's really important that we have secure. So you'll see self-care week is explained in detail. This means that week 7, 8, and 13 has changed in terms of the classes. But week 9, 10, 11, and 12 are completely unchanged. Okay. These are some naming credits from our regulars. Virginia Balzero called this the Self-Care Week. Marta Podoira called it the Rest and Empower Week. Rox Arton called it Self-Grounding and Empowerment. Oh, it's beautiful. Gillian Newton said perhaps Week of Sanity, Week of Empowerment, Refactor Your Code. Recode Week by Crystal. Catch-Up Week. Paula Bernal mentioned Inner Coding Week, which is lovely. Or Between Kalanta said Recalibration Week. There are a few benefits besides actually just having time for yourself and your coding. And I wanted to explain that a little bit because I think it ties in with the long-term mission of empowering all of you to find paid jobs. So I wanted to explain a little more deeply what's going on. Next week, there will be no classes. However, you're welcome to continue from material in previous weeks, or you may study ahead as well because the syllabus is on GitHub. So the second benefit is that we will extend the deadlines of week 6. So normally we would announce the new hackathon now at 9 a.m. in this weekly summary so that you would have the weekend to work on the next one. But because this will be a break week, we will extend this until next week, Friday, 9 a.m. There will be a community update I will hold, and I will announce the new hackathon. And also we'll add an additional month to the month 2 hackathon to reflect this addition of a week's time. So you're gaining a week. And yes, you can code or you can relax with it. The third benefit, this is really important, is that you will have until week 13 to improve your JavaScript. And also, because we will start with the because week 8 we will build the prototype of the mobile app. You will have 5 weeks to show that to friends and family and people around you, get feedback and improve and iterate on your mobile app prototype. So it's not, originally there was just 1 week between prototyping and then putting it into place. But this way you will, and if you follow along with me, I will be making the first 1 million women to tech mobile app for us, for the community. So of course your input will shape completely what the app looks like, what we want in it, and we will have 5 weeks to iterate and improve on that concept until we are ready to actually start coding it in and connecting it to a back end and letting a few trial users enter. So that extra time, instead of just having 1 week between, we have 5 weeks. It is my hope that it will really elevate the quality of your experience, and it will be a hackathon in its own with a very, very tangible output. I really believe that if we can make this one of the core elements of the Summer of Code, and many women can learn to prototype and build mobile applications, that in itself we can create a very large freelancing market for. And as the outgoing president of Oxford Entrepreneurs, it has been one of my hopes that we could bring in lots of startups who need an MVP, minimum viable product. And the 1 Million Women to Tech members, those who are good at doing these mobile app prototypes, could be building those and be paid for it. And so this in itself is a mini software engineering bootcamp that you can do either the DIY track or the supported track. So yeah, please think about this long term. I think there's some real benefits to this. Can I get some thoughts from all of you watching? What is your thought on A, having a break? Are you happy having a little time to catch up? Are you okay with it? And B, what do you think of this this plan of actually putting some space between the prototyping and the implementation so that we can really get the prototype well, user tested really, so that when it's implemented, it's already a usable minimum viable product. I don't know if it's possible, but we will attempt our best. Here are some quotes in the meantime that I hope it's okay. I took it from the public YouTube video. I'm ever so grateful for the new schedule. I think my brain really needs a small break from constant coding to let some of the info properly filter into place. Momaka said, the break is awesome. I have so much to catch up on after taking 2 weeks break. Rox again, I thought this was a very interesting interaction. I wanted to share it with everybody because it shows you how the early adopters yourselves really are shaping the product, really, the course. I really love the community and material. I might suggest considering putting the break week between Python and JavaScript next time. It could be just me, but the gear switch when still just learning. Jillian agrees. Virginia said it's a good idea. I like that it's right in the middle of the 12 weeks though. Exactly, those were the exactly, you actually put your finger on, these were the two considerations. Should we have maybe a break after the Python? Should we have it in the middle? Hack Reactor, the sort of Harvard of software engineering bootcamps, does it in the middle. But then again, I think it's between 18 to 25,000 US dollars, 18 to 25,000 US dollars for a 3 months course. Anyway, Rox said, it's a bit harsh and the break would help finish off one gear up for the other with the speed of both. Otherwise, I think what is being covered is amazing. I really want to thank all of these ladies for being so positive and really patient. To be honest, our systems are terrible because we're just building them as we go forward, and I must apologize to those of you who have been waiting to receive reactions and feedback, but it is coming. I can tell you what we have been doing. This is why the community updates are happening. Right now it's really just myself putting in 110-hour weeks. It's just not enough. We have 6 volunteers who are on the leadership committee who have 3 of them are single moms with 1, 2, and 3 children respectively. So we're not quite at the enterprise level that we need, even for the gold and VIP members, to be honest. But we are prioritizing them. And then for the goal going forward, which is why we invited all of you to apply to the volunteer applications, which are open now, is we would like to have 21 highly selected volunteers join us to build out the 24 business assets that could allow us to actually deliver reliable and scalable and a high quality education to women all around the world, and especially to also work on the employer side. Unfortunately, because I was so busy, we only have right now only have the support of Oxford University Press, which is one of the world's largest publishers, and Facebook developer circles, and the UN Technology and Innovation Lab, which actually sits at the UN General general attorney's office, IT office. So we have these 3 corporate supporters, and we have the Oxford entrepreneur support, so 4. But we would really love to find many, many, many more and do the same type of build-up that we did with the Summer of Code for you learners on the employer side, so that all of you can, after the Summer of Code, apply and hopefully get paying gigs and freelancing and full-time jobs. So that's the plan. It's going forward. It's just we are going step by step. I'm happy to take questions now. This is all from me. I'll show the volunteer application page in case I think there are many people who created accounts and about 24 who also already submitted their applications. Wonderful. We're looking forward to receiving them. So it's 1millionwomen2tech.com/volunteer-applications-open. There is a video on explaining what the benefits are, and also written down here mission and vision. What levels of commitment we request. There are 2 levels, either those who can commit at least 10 hours or casual helpers that are less than that. And how to apply is here. We ask that you read the 24 Assets book. We have some links to you to get it for free, or you can buy it because we're using it for years. There's a video walkthrough on how we implement this 24-hour framework, and we request that you write us a short letter instead of a pain letter, which is normally used for cover letters. We're naming it a passion letter, that you send us a short passion letter about it. Here are the actual steps: what to click, what not to click, how to send it in, and there's a little video walkthrough here as well on the interface. So there, I think, are one video, 2 videos, 3 videos here to help you apply. The application started on Monday, August 20th, and we will close them at midnight on Monday, 27th of August, to give us a week to look through. Okay, that's it from me. Let's take some comments and questions. Wow, lots of questions. Very nice. Ragul R was having a little pre-party with others. Wonderful. Welcome. Saral Kadir, good morning. Good to see you. Thank you for coming live to the weekly meeting. It's so meaningful. Mara Catalina, nice and sunny here at Bournemouth, UK as well. Anusha Lihala, Kolkata, India. Oh wow, you're in Kolkata. Anusha, it's my dream, my long-term dream to go to Kolkata. You are kind of in the spiritual capital of the world, aren't you? Wow. Beautiful. Kasha is in Leeds, UK. Of course, Rox from Sacramento, yes. Tagrida, good morning from Egypt. Oh, very welcome. Very welcome. Actually, we're very interested in reaching out to women in Egypt. It is my understanding that the UN might partner with us to reach and support women there. So, Takrida, please make sure that you are on the Discord channel. In the Egypt, there's country by country channels, and I hope to see you there. I should probably open Discord and show you. It's just my Discord is overflowing. Please don't be too upset. Okay, so when you enter Discord, it's free. It's a chat application. You will see all these channels. This is the landing zone. And if you do a Command K on the Mac, you can actually search. So I'm going to go to Egypt. You can do it directly, or you can scroll down on the channels, and you will see that there are the countries by country channels. So let's see, South Africa, North Africa. Oh, fantastic. Let's see if we can find. Oh, there are 2 of them. I don't know which one is you. Great to see you this morning in the weekly summary. Okay, and let's also see if we can get lots of female mentors. Morning from Algeria, Adeline Garcia. Welcome from Algeria. Awesome. Okay, maybe you're not there yet. Okay, Wamako Okafor, good morning. Yes, it's great to have you. Ljubljana, Slovenia. Oh, I see. Anastassia, that's wonderful. I didn't realize that. Writing renditions from Montreal. Lots of class. Sea Lion, morning from Israel. Yes, yes. Hi, Sea Lion. But Regina likes the live classes. Big smile. I watch live. The community interaction is amazing. Then, as needed, rewatch to keep working on the code. I see. Wonderful. I love the live classes, but I still have to watch the replays. Yeah, that is good. And sometimes if I go fast, of course, it's good to pause and be able to Christina says live is amazing. The interaction is great. Live is best, Adelina says. Writing mission. I prefer live, but my schedule often makes that impossible. I really understand. Being able to attend live is great, says Anusha Dehala. I must say, Anusha brings the best and most amazing questions. Like, she really, really is very advanced and very out there, and also very kind and willing to help others, I've noticed. Amazing, amazing woman. Anusha, if you ever need a recommendation letter, like a technical reference or something, I'll be happy to give you one. Comment live. Kasha W, live classes, then replays, then I need to remind myself of details. Wow, that's a really detailed learner. Bito in Kalanta, I prefer live because of the interaction, and I rewatch for reviewing. Okay. Praying, a beach, and an island. Life makes it personal and motivates me to stay involved daily. Thank you. I really like that addition of time for that should help make it possible to make really nice polished final apps. Great. Yeah, this is my hope. And if we can create a nice portfolio from the 1 Million Women to Tech mobile app portfolio, and we can showcase them on the blog. We have now, what, 120,000 Facebook followers and whatnot. Like, employers are really starting to pay attention. So this is the ticket, I think, one of the possible tickets for economic empowerment for the community. And so, of course, you know, I myself can't achieve it alone. The volunteers can't achieve it alone. But all of us together, yes, we can do something amazing. Is the deadline for the volunteer applicant also extended by 1 week? Sea Lion, that's also interesting. No, I didn't extend the volunteer applications by 1 week, and I tell you why. Because I wanted to use that 1 week with the volunteers, that extra week, to actually go through the applications, if that's all right. So I think I'd like to close the volunteer applications on the 27th. Even if it's not perfect, but please submit them and let us get in touch with you. Excited about the break. Awesome, Mamaka. Come and lay on break. Great plan. Very good idea. Love it. I really need to catch up. Great. Yes, I like a kid before summer holiday. Yes, I finally time to catch up. Awesome, awesome. Could we have some ideas in Python? I'm focusing more on Python than JavaScript, and I love your idea of MLP. Sorry, comment. Can you specify a little more? Did you mean machine learning or NLP, natural language processing, or something else? MVP maybe, the minimum viable product? No, I finished my thought in parts. YouTube says I'm far too wordy. That's funny. I love the UX over 5 weeks idea. I have some content ideas I'd love to discuss with you. Fantastic, Sea Lion. Okay, let's do it. Renditions. Excellent timing. The academic term is about to start where I am, and I have full work schedule, full next week. Wow. Okay, good. So you'll get a little break. Come and smiling at rocks. I really believe in this cause and would love to help and volunteer, but I'm a beginner in programming. Is there something I can do? Yes, of course, Adeline Garcia. There is lots of things to do. If you read through the volunteer application, we would love you. The 24 Assets book actually is it's very much an organization. So everything from product to marketing to branding to IP. Yes, there is systems, of course. And to be honest, you will learn a ton of technology, especially Git and GitHub, because we run on it and we live on it. but there's a lot of other things to do. One can do writing, design, contacting people, evangelizing. There's so as long as you have the good heart, and if you have some skill. Of course, we have to do the finances, the strategy, the legal part, the accounting. We are nonprofits. All of that needs doing. We're incorporated in America and recognized as a educational nonprofit or charity, a 501c3. So there's lots of things to do. Absolutely, would love to have you. Thank you, Eloine Garcia. Thumbs up, 3 thumbs up. 1, 2, 3, 3 thumbs for the self-care week. Good. Apply for the volunteer pool and mention which areas you can help. Yeah, that's a good idea. So if you have limited time, what I would do but you would still like to help, we have a casual helper category. So the 7 groups: IP, brand, market, product, systems, culture, and funding, are following the 24 assets framework, and we do require a 10-hour per week commitment, because you will be basically creating the program for the next year and laying the foundations and being a leader in those areas. But if you'd like to be a casual helper, then if you have less than 10 hours a week, or even just like maybe in the whole year, you will just come on and help a couple of hours here and there if we have an emergency or a sudden deadline, or if somebody needs to go on a holiday, another volunteer, and we just really need a bit of help here or there, then you can just really jump in for an hour or two, once a year, twice a year, once a month, twice a month. It's really more flexible, and you can read about the task pool here. It's really task by task. So if we have sudden, and I want to thank Carmen, who is watching here, and Christine Rafa for the idea. Christine Rafa's idea, she spent much time in banking and strategy and has a fantastic strategic perspective. She mentioned that it might be good to have a task pool. And then Carmen told me that, yeah, she has been in an all-volunteer women's organization for fixing bicycles for several years now. And there are times when there is sudden need, increased need of help. Deadline could happen, or somebody might need to go away, and usually those are very dangerous times, because the organization can get hurt very much. But if we have a very good-hearted and well-trained pool of casual helpers, then you can jump in and help out during those times. So yeah, please do. Commonly, I'm still thinking the same. I suspect most have understood when the info came out that you were going from a few hundred to several thousand in a new project that was going to take a bit smoother. I really do that. Yes. Actually, I think we are doing fairly okay from the perspective of numbers. I think the quality, of course, is not there yet. But then again, Google wasn't polished when they came out. It was 20 lines of code, writing a frequency distribution on documents and putting it into a database, and that was it. But they got really good over time. I don't know if we will get that big, but I think the 1 million is starting to seem reachable now. Commonly, are you or OUP still looking to get sessions off the ground? That's a good question. I've been in touch with our OUP contact, and I still couldn't get a meeting going because it's really my limitation. I think that they are open. They offered their space to us. So they have a huge, here in Oxford, they have a huge cafeteria that could hold several hundred people. And they have a outdoors area in the courtyard next to the cafeteria for outdoor hacking if the weather is good. That could hold probably 60, 70 people. So I guess, yes. I really appreciate it, says Sea Lion, that you called it still alpha testing last week. Yes, we are in alpha. I agree, Sea Lion. I love how organic everything is. Nothing is fixed, but the structure is there. Yes. Christina, could you please give us the link to the St. Thomas Aquinas Hackathon? Yes. The hackathon itself, I think, is very it's not well described. I need to work on that. Maybe next week I'll try to get Father Andrew to give me a meeting. I see what you're saying. Did I not push up the hackathon? I didn't push it up. Oh my gosh. I feel like we created a Christina, great catch. Did I? You're absolutely right. I didn't push it up. Okay, so I'll have to work on this today. I'll give the link now to the raw data so that you can start looking at it. It's the St. Thomas, it's Corpus Thomisticum, sorry. Corpus Thomisticum is IBM and this Jesuit priest who digitized the whole of St. Thomas Aquinas' work. So I'll give you this, and then yes, we need to work on it. Thank you, Christina. Wonderful. Wow, I'm so sorry. That's terrible. The month 2 hackathon, right? Maybe we should make this into an all-summer hackathon, to be honest, because this is so meaningful. Like if somebody even just, you know, if anybody gets excited and gets an opportunity to work with Oxford University because of this, then it would really be meaningful. Okay, I'll sleep on this. For now, here's the data set, the Corpus Thomisticum. The hackathon challenge is to visualize this in and make it more accessible in a exciting and new design way, because it's right now just a bunch of HTML text that's very difficult to search and manipulate and navigate. Anusha, I have a career question. Is it better to do an unpaid internship or work on a personal project? Wow, what a great question. Virginia has the same question. This is such a great question. Let's think through it really meaningfully, because this is a really important question, right? So let's put this in the how-tos, new file. I guess your question is work experience, right? How to get it. How to get it. Is it, yeah. I'm thinking. There are pros and cons to both, so let's go through them. I think the there's unpaid internship and then personal project, yeah? Actually, maybe we should do them as rows, and then the pros and cons we can do as type. So I'm just using GitHub flavored markup. So pros and cons, yeah? Well, so here's the pros of the unpaid internship, Anusha, in my view. Especially if you get to work with an organization where they are willing to give you training, they're willing to give you mentoring, they have good best practices, they have, let's say, very mature repositories, then actually, even though the internship is unpaid, you are getting the equivalent, let's say, of a master's degree or an MBA, or it's not really MBA because it's technology, but let's say an MSc, a master in science, because they have so much material, they have resources, and even though you're unpaid, but you get access, you get mentoring, you are working with experienced engineers. So in that case, it can be very, very, very good. So I give you an example. This is not technology related, but the incoming president of Oxford Entrepreneur, Cyrus, he's an original feminist. He and his girlfriend have been helping us. Actually, I'm sitting in their Oxford apartment here to use the internet because it's extremely fast from the university until my new place gets the upgrade. But he managed to get a very competitive internship at the UN. But it's 4 months and he has to pay for himself in New York. Wow. I mean, you know, it's not cheap to go there and stay there for 4 months, but he now has 4 months experience at the UN. And to have access to people there, the resources, the training, it is priceless. So I would say, you know, access to resources and best practices. I mean, it could be true. Also, an unpaid internship, maybe even a startup, could be good if you're actually working on something that is then you can showcase it. That's the pro of, I think, the unpaid internship. The cons, of course, is that, I mean, you're spending your time, right? Time and money on someone else's project. It depends a little bit how much you believe in it or how much you actually care about solving that problem. This might be okay. Like if you think it's a problem that's worth solving, it's okay. If you are doing it for something that you don't really care about, then it's probably not a good idea. The pros of the personal projects, of course, is that it's flexible, you know, in terms of time. And of course, you're working on something that is for you. So, you know, working on your own idea or things like that. But I think there's also some negative things, like the con, which is that if you don't know what you're doing, then you can spend a lot of time. Let's say you could spend 3 months, but actually you learn little. Well, you still learn a lot, but it's possible that you would learn, I don't know, 10 times more if you were in a structured environment. So there is a little question mark to the quality. So the quality and quantity of learning, and if you don't have mentoring, you don't have supervision, is questionable. Yeah, so you have to know that. The answer to your question is, it really depends. I think if you can find a good unpaid internship, it's very worth it. And if you have the time and the flexibility, it's very worth it. If you oops, that's not what I wanted. That's a little better. Yeah. If I think you have to make your choice based on what is possible for you. I would say if you have access to a very good unpaid internship, and this is what we're trying to create for the volunteers, to be honest, is it is unpaid, but you can put it on your resume as work experience. And in every single group, there will be some technology element, because we are using technology to teach technology, and we need to be scalable beyond of what humanly is possible. So everything from IT to brand to market to product to the culture, all of that needs to have some level of technology and automation and servicing the needs of the users. So that's what I think. If you have a good unpaid internship, I want to take it. Or the other thing is, if you have a very, very meaningful idea and you have access to some sort of best practices, and then also maybe it's better for you to work on your own idea. Yeah. So we need to know a little bit more about your own situation to be able to suggest which one. My Discord name is Hala. Oh, okay, excellent. Hala. Hi. Fantastic. Adelaide, awesome. Okay. Sorry, this was a long answer, but I think it's meaningful to many of you. My personal project, but I'm worried it'd be out of my depth. Minimum thingy that is MVP. I see. Okay, so come and lay. Yeah, I can give some ideas for minimum viable products. But then again, so it's possible that you might find there are opportunities to contribute to. Okay, so here are some ideas to do. Comment. There's a couple of things. It's not a minimum viable product, but the NLP book, the NLTK book, sorry, that we were using for the NLP week is a little bit out of date and has a few mistakes in it. Like even starting to fix those and contributing to it, it's an open source project, might be an interesting way in to NLP for natural language processing. For Python, it again depends on what you're interested in, but for example, web crawlers are something that I think are completely underutilized and are very, very powerful. So if you want specific ideas, I can give you some that I think are within the scope of a few months' work and could be achieved. Well, actually, okay, let's go back to the SEO hackathon. That's a minimum viable product. The SEO hackathon challenge, week 3 hackathon. I mean, this itself is a MVP, but you could do it for a whole summer or a month or two and see how far you get. But Scrapey, for example, is very interesting. Like, could you write a meaningful social listener in Python with Scrapey and NLTK? So what Scrapey does is it automates your web crawling, so you can have it gather the data in a programmatic way, and then you can use NLTK to do some sentiment analysis. And to be honest, from let's say the 1 Million Women to Tech perspective, the two things that we need the most, and usually we do it at the moment manually, is the extremely positive and the extremely negative sentiments across all of our channels. There are too many channels. There's only 6 of us. We can't. Sometimes you don't even find the messages that are really meant for us. But the extremely positive ones are great because that means that this person is an amazing contributor and we should recognize them and maybe even offer them a volunteering opportunity if they're interested, or a work experience so they can build their resume. And the extremely negative ones are important because if they are pointing out some real issue, like when we had this spam alert, it turned out it wasn't spam in the sense that they didn't break into our code, but it's true there was a unlisted section of the volunteers' profiles that a spider could send messages to through the web, because the comments, it was basically a WordPress comments box, and if they sent a WordPress comment, then our server messaged the person telling them they received the message. So, like, for example, those were extremely helpful, and if it's very negative and it's not well grounded, then we should, to be honest, we're keeping a list of people who are very, very negative, and basically, you know, it's all volunteer organization. We don't want people who are. We're not ready really to be compared to Udacity or Coursera or anything like that. This is grassroots. So if people are so negative, we need to ask them to go somewhere else, basically, and find their own happiness. We want to make sure everybody's happy. So there is a minimum viable product there. So go take Scrapey with Python, scrape all the 1 Million Women to Tech, for example, or whatever your idea is, if you want. Do a social listening on a specific brand, and then grab the most positive and the most negative. I assume this is a common use case. Oh my gosh, so many great comments. We should wrap up pretty soon, so let me just quickly read through. Thank you, Christina, you're amazing. Ash and I have been working on ideas since you mentioned it for that one. I think she would also be glad to have more time to fine-tune those. Okay, I'm not sure what it is, Rox, but I support it, whatever it is. Virginia, I've been applying for jobs, and most of the time, even entry-level positions require 2+ years experience, some even 5 to 8. Really appreciate the advice. Yeah, this is great. Virginia, my plan with you, because can I just say this in front of everybody, because you're amazing. Ever since you started volunteering, you have been a dynamite, is that I would love to work with you personally, and we will get you the equivalent of this 2+ years experience through the 1 Million Women to Tech, so that when you're applying, you can say that you have the experience, and I don't think it will take 2 years. We'll start figuring things out, yeah? I think one of the ways we can do this, to be honest, perhaps is getting some of the more advanced women, let's say Anusha, for example, if you are willing to take some freelancing jobs, you could be the project manager, and we can put a few, maybe 3 or 4 women who are more beginners around you, and you can complete a project that's paid. If we do this, 6 months projects 4 times, then women like Virginia will have the 2 years experience, and then you can move on into the rest of the paid jobs. I understand this 2-year experience target, though, to be honest, because I have the same feeling. For those volunteers who don't have 2 years of coding experience, pushing to GitHub, merging, things like that, it's hard for them to... It takes a little maturation. It's hard for them to do technical leadership or even just self-direct, because they don't know what they don't know yet. So in some ways, it's a reasonable barrier, and our job is to get you through it. Let's talk to Kasia, who is heading up the product team, because one of the ideas we were thinking is how to entice more employers, and like if you can build an MVP in 6 months and do that 4 times for 4 different startups, suddenly you are paid for 2 years and are getting into the industry. It's that first work experience is the hardest, isn't it, Virginia? That first one is the hardest, because everybody wants you to have the experience before they give it to you. So that's the trick. I think if anybody, we will solve this problem. I would suspect that internship would count in a way as work experience. Yes, as well. Yes, exactly. In that you're working for others with deadlines, etc. While your own project is great for portfolio boosting, but doesn't show possible employers you can work in a team with others or on a deadline. Correct. Yeah, self-projects are good, but unless they are amazing, they are only good to open the conversation. They don't quite give enough confidence. It depends. I mean, if you have 360, awesome projects in your portfolio, yeah, sure. But Celine, Outreachy provides 3 months paid internship. Applications open September 10th. Fantastic. Shall we share those, or shall we invite them to advertise it through us so that people can do this? I think we need to channel this somewhere. It would be really good to channel employment opportunities through the network to benefit. I will tell you the spiel here. Yeah, let's look on that. Do you think, is it plus or minus when I apply for a job and I do have a master's degree but from a different field, civil engineering? Tatiana, BP. That's very interesting. I think it depends how you frame it, Tatiana. Because civil engineering is engineering, I think you can spin it as a positive quite easily. You don't have to invent lots of stories for why studying English was good for coding, when it was. I think it's neither a plus nor a minus. It really depends how well you interview, how well you do the technical interview questions, and whether you have you can showcase your experience building something. Annie KTK, good morning. Outreach is for people from groups under tech. Awesome. Anusha would love to freelance and work with others. Okay, great, Anusha. Maybe we should do a beta or an alpha test of this concept. I think after the summer of code, let's see if we can get to the point where maybe a small number of selected people could be those. I think I would like to keep this as a privilege for the volunteers, because they put in so much time and energy and creativity, and those who help out. is those could get the first paid opportunities in some way, and we will try to create a structure for a senior woman with some juniors working together, and if needed, we will take also a senior man engineer just to make sure that we run well. I'll think about that, but I think this model could really work. Found it. You must know the following criteria, but also we can continue this on Discord. Yes, could you please take this onto Discord privately? Thank you. Okay, that's it from me then. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful week. I will not see you on YouTube until next Friday, when we will be back with the next week's. We'll be back with next week's community update. Thank you so much. Pat yourselves on the shoulder. We are basically halfway through the courses. Well done. Bye.